We are going to be solving systems of equations by substitution. So the first thing that we want to do is take a look at what we have here with our system of equations. We have two different equations. We have one that goes y equals negative 7x plus 2, and then we have one that says negative 8x plus 4y equals 8. So the fact that we have one that has a variable all by itself on one side means that this one is going to be a little bit easier to do. Some of the work has already been taken care of for us. So we want to use that to our advantage. So what we're going to do is point out exactly what's going on with that. So we have this y here, and we have a y right here as well. So we're going to take this whole thing right here, and we're going to substitute it in for that y. So for example, if I were to write this bottom equation, so I'm going to take this equation right here, and I'm going to write that down, and then instead of writing y right here, I'm going to plug in this information from this y here, and y equals negative 7x plus 2. So because that's what it equals, that's what I'm going to plug in for y. So watch how this works. So if I say negative 8x plus 4, now I could write y there because that's what's next, but I'm not going to because I'm going to be putting in my y. I'm going to do it in that other color. And then the y is that part that I underlined right here. It's the negative 7x plus 2. So negative 7x plus 2. Sorry. Okay. And now I'm going to write the rest of the equation in black. Equals 8. So you can see it's this equation right here. So all I've done is rewrite this equation, and then I substituted in, instead of writing y here, I put in this underlined part of the other equation. Sorry, that's a little messy. But so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to distribute this whole thing. So I'm going to write it again. This negative 8x, I'm just going to write down again, and then I'm going to distribute. So I have my 4. Remember, I distribute by going here. So I'm going to do that one first. So 4 times negative 7x. 4 times negative 7 is going to give me a negative 28. But I can't leave out the x, so I have to include the x. So 4 times negative 7x is negative 28x. Now I'm going to do my other part of the distribution. So 4 times 2, that's a positive 2. Sorry about the messiness. So 4 times positive 2 is positive 8, and that equals 8. So for the rest of it, I just brought down what was already there from the previous equation when I had written it out. So now all I need to do is combine like terms and solve. So this here, both of these have x's in them, so I can combine those. The other two terms, this term and this term, those don't have x's with them, so I can't combine those with the other ones. So this negative 8x minus 28x means I'm going to be at a negative 36 x. And then I'm going to bring down that positive 8. And that equals 8. So again, I'm just bringing those down. So I'm bringing down that 8, and I'm bringing down that 8. And now I'm going to continue solving. So I can't combine this anymore with anything else. So now I need to focus on what's going on over here. So I've got an 8 here, and I have an 8 here. I want to combine them so that they're both on the same side. I want them both to be over on this side so that my x can stay over on this side. So in order to do that, I need to subtract 8 from this side and subtract 8 from the other side. So I bring down my negative 36x. These cancel out, and 8 minus 8 is 0. Divide by negative 36. So these cancel out. So now I know that my x equals 0. So I figured out my x. Now the next thing I need to do is figure out what my y is. And the cool thing is that this is actually really easy, because if we go back, we have 2 equations, and we really only need to choose one of them. It doesn't even matter which one we use. So because it's going to be easier, I'm going to use this top equation. So first thing I'm going to do is just write that equation down. So I'm going to bring that over here and write that equation down. So y equals negative 7x plus 2. So my x is 0. What I want to do is plug that in. So my x should be, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in a different color. So let's do it in even another color. So let's do that x like that in a purple. And then I add the 2. So you can see the rest of this is all exactly the same. The only thing that changed is that the x became the 0, which is what I got from right here. So then I can say, well, y equals negative 7 times 0 is 0 plus 2. So my y is 2. So I now have an x and a y. So the solution for the whole thing is just a coordinate point where x is 0 and y is 2. And that's my solution for the whole thing.